Hey everybody, what's good? It has been a minute since my last upload. Uh, about a good couple weeks, I believe, since I've actually put a video on YouTube. Sorry about that. I apologize. It's been a crazy couple weeks. I had my girl on the ship. We had a good time, going jet skiing and whatnot. And then after that was my birthday weekend, so I had to turn up a little bit. And I was hungover most of the week, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. I was turning up. But anyway, I'm back with another fun-filled episode of Shiplife. So in today's episode, we're going to be going by special request from one of my subscribers. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about your working hours while you're on the ship, how many hours you work, and what kind of break time you're going to be seeing. So let's get started, shall we? Let's go! Alright, so like I said, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the amount of hours you work while you're here completing your contracts on the cruise ship. But before I get started, guys, I just want to give a full disclosure. Obviously, things vary depending on a lot of factors as far as the cruise industry goes, deciding how many hours you work. There are factors like, for example, your cruise line that you're working for, your length of contract, your position, I don't know what department you're working in. So just be mindful of that when we're talking about hours. I'm going to do the best I can to describe how many hours people will work depending on, for the most part, what department they're working in. Just so you guys know, I work in entertainment, which I've said in my previous videos. And honestly, I'm probably one of the most hated, if not the most hated person on the ship. Just because I'm going to start out with myself by telling you guys that I only work 2 days a week. 2 days a week while I'm on the ship, and people aren't too happy about that. But again, there are factors. I work in the entertainment department, and I am in the main show. My show is after midnight here on the Norwegian Escape, and we share the theater with a bunch of other things like comedy performances and our other show FTR, which doesn't really make a lot of time for set changes and all the other things the other moving parts that go into setting up for another giant production show like the one I'm in. Other people, for example, and I want to speak for maybe about 99% of the people on the ship, I'm just going to level with you guys and be straight up. You guys will probably work every day. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Mainly because this is just corporate America and they try to take advantage of whoever they can, particularly people from other countries. On my ship, for example, it's the people from the Philippines. You will find them in just about every single department, just because of two reasons. We have what's called Maritime Law here. Out in international waters, there's different laws and regulations that allow cruise ships, for example, and people out in the ocean, out in the open ocean, to make rules as far as the hourly wages and work and all that. So technically the idea is with maritime law is that they can technically work you up to, I believe it's 14 hours a day. And most of the people on my shift, for example, they work about 12 hours a day, every day. If they're lucky, they might get 1 day off or so, I believe. That's just what I've heard, but for the most part, people are working every day. So the idea is that since they're contracting you and they're feeding you and they're housing you, technically they can work you as much as they want because all of your other issues are being taken care of. It's weird to me, it really is. Honestly, I don't really believe in that. But that's just how it is. So like I said, most departments are working about 12 and sometimes up to 14 hours per day. And then they get, from what I understand, about a 30-minute break. Some might get an hour, or a lot of them actually, I believe they get an hour. But at some point during the day, within those 24 hours, they're going to chalk up about 12 hours of work somewhere at some point in that day. I have friends that work in guest services, and they might do 6, and then they have a 2-3 hour break where they can go out and do what they want to do, and then they have to come back, report for duty, and do another couple hours to complete that 12 or whatever, however many hours they're working that day. That's just me being honest with you guys. I know for a fact that most of the departments are working every single day. Like I said, I got lucky, and I know people really hate me. And I hope not, because honestly, you know, I'm a dancer and I worked hard to get where I am, and I'm not going to get into all of it, but there's just other factors that determine how many hours we work. Honestly, when I'm home, I work every day. I'm not some pampered, spoiled prince that has had everything I've ever wanted since day one. I'm a street performer. I've been homeless. I know what it's like to have to hustle and grind every single day and flip over people all day long. That's my life. So when I got here, I was just like, shit, not a bad deal. I wasn't going to say no to a contract like that, would you? I don't think so. Obviously, there's the captain who is working every day nonstop. He's working more hours than probably anybody on the ship. Well, maybe not the guys in the engine room. Those guys are taking shifts, but they're working literally around the clock. Those guys don't even see daylight. But I'm getting off track. As far as the break times, like I said, a lot of the people here, a lot of the crew usually receive at the minimum about 30 minutes, and I believe they might see 1 or 2 of those 30-minute breaks throughout the day. No days off, really. If you're lucky, you might get 1. And that is true. You can ask anybody from any cruise ship. I think it's pretty much a true statement across the board, no matter what department you're working for. So just be mindful of that when you decide to sign up. I'm telling you, from what I understand, the people that are working here and working those kinds of hours, yes, they're tired, but they still enjoy it because they're making good money. They're avoiding temptations of spending money every day, and they're saving what they need to save. But getting back to the break time, they get the 30. Some people get an hour or a few hours. And I know a lot of the time these ships, when they advertise, especially to other countries, that you get to travel the world, you get to see all these amazing places. Technically, it is kind of true, just because these hours that everybody is working, usually it's getting taken up and being used. You're working when we're not at port, when we're not in the Bahamas, when we're not in Cozumel, when we're not in these ports. Is usually when people are working. Sea day is what we call it. We have a sea day, then we have a port day or whatnot. So whenever we're out in sea is when all hands are on deck for the most part. That's when I'm doing my shows. That's when all the waiters, staff, and everybody else is out there doing their work. Because technically, when we're in these ports, right, which I'm in Port Canaveral right now, by the way, everybody is running around at Disney somewhere. So there's like no guests on the ship. So technically there's not really a ton of work to be done. So a lot of the crew have time to go sightseeing, to go to Disney with the guests, to go to Walmart, which is where I just came back from because we have to go pick up stuff. Go to the mall, go hang out, have a good time. We do have time for those things, but it's not like you have all the time in the world and you have all these days off. So that's just me explaining to you guys and being truthful and honest with you about how things are here on the ship. I really hope this helped. I'm not going to go into some crazy detail. I think I've pretty much covered all the bases. If you guys want to know about anybody from or how the hours are from another specific position here on the ship, whether it be, I don't know, like I said, the engine room, youth staff, anybody else from entertainment, the crew staff, just holler at me, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you guys as quickly as I can. Like I said, I'm on the ship, and a lot of times I'm in the middle of the ocean, and my Wi-Fi on the ship here does not allow for YouTube, so I can only do so much. But anyway, guys, like I said, I really hope this helps, and I'll get back to you guys next week with another upload, and I'll do my best to be consistent. I'll stop drinking so much, I guess. Anywho, you guys take it easy, and till next time, peace.